Lao Tzu versus Confucius. Lao Tzu and Confucius both show radical differences in their philosophies and their interpretation of what is best for individuals and societies. Who were these Chinese legendary figures from the 6th century BCE? Lao Tzu is a famous and perhaps mythical figure in Chinese philosophy, known as the author of the foundational Taoist text, the Tao Te Ching. Very little historical information about him exists, and much of what is known is shrouded in myth and legend. He is traditionally credited with founding Taoism, a philosophical and spiritual tradition that centers on the concept of the Tao, often translated as the way or the path. Lao Tzu's philosophy emphasizes living in harmony with the Tao, which is considered the source of all existence, and advocating for Wu Wei, a principle of non-action or effortless action. His teachings encourage individuals to embrace simplicity, spontaneity, and humility. Confucius, called Kongzi in China, was born in the state of Lu, and is one of the most influential figures in Chinese history. He was a philosopher, teacher, and political thinker, and his ideas laid the foundation for Confucianism, a system of thought that has profoundly shaped Chinese culture and society. Confucius emphasized the importance of ethics, moral conduct, and social harmony. His teachings revolved around principles such as filial piety, righteousness, and propriety. And he believed that these virtues should be cultivated to create a just and harmonious society. Confucius also advocated for a well-ordered government and an educated, virtuous ruling class. His collection of sayings and ideas, known as the Analects, serves as a primary source for understanding Confucian thought. According to legend, Lao Tzu and Confucius met at least once, but the most noted meeting was during the late spring and autumn period at the court of the Duke of Zhou. Lao Tzu was a number of years senior to Confucius. The Duke, who respected both philosophers, arranged the meeting in the hope that they might engage in a philosophical dialogue. During their encounter, Lao Tzu and Confucius had a conversation that highlighted their differing perspectives. Let's look at their distinct philosophies and what topics they might have discussed. Nature of reality and the Tao. Lao Tzu's philosophy revolves around the concept of the Tao, which can be loosely translated as the way or the path. He emphasizes that the ultimate reality is formless, ineffable, and beyond human comprehension. Individuals should seek harmony with the Tao by letting go of desires, embracing simplicity, and following the natural flow of life. The Tao is often associated with spontaneity and inaction, emphasizing the importance of non-interference. Confucius, on the other hand, does not focus on an abstract metaphysical concept like the Tao. He is primarily concerned with human relationships, ethics, and social harmony. Confucius believes that individuals should cultivate virtues and follow moral principles to create a just and harmonious society, while Lao Tzu sees an enlightened person as one who understands reality and flows within it. Confucius has the idea of Junzi, the ideal person who follows the rules and is a role model. Moderation and balance. Confucius mentions his ideas around the doctrine of the mean, which are described in his Analects. This is the concept of moderation and balance in all aspects of life. The doctrine encourages individuals to avoid extremes and seek a balanced, harmonious approach to their actions and decisions. He stresses that too much can be as bad as too little. In response, Lao Tzu sees the idea of moderation and balance as valuable, but emphasizes that balance should be achieved by aligning with the Tao and the natural rhythms of life, rather than consciously striving for a middle way, as Confucius suggests. Ethics and virtue. Lao Tzu's ethics are centered on the idea of Wu Wei, which can be translated as non-action or effortless action. He suggests that individuals should refrain from forcing their will upon the world, and instead allow things to unfold naturally. Essentially, he is recommending to go with the flow of life. Virtue, in the context of Lao Tzu's philosophy, is about being in tune with the Tao, which leads to compassion, humility, and a sense of oneness with all of creation. Confucius emphasizes the importance of cultivating virtuous character and moral integrity in individuals. It is what he called Ren, often translated as benevolence or goodness. He tells Lao Tzu that by practicing Ren, people could improve their relationships with others, and contribute to the harmony of society. Role of government. Lao Tzu is skeptical of government and advocates minimal government interference in people's lives. He believes that the best rulers are those who govern the least and follow the natural order. His ideal leader is one who rules with humility and simplicity. Confucius is more focused on the role of government in fostering a well-ordered society. He believes that wise and virtuous rulers, who set an example for their subjects, are crucial for maintaining social stability and promoting moral values. Attitude toward tradition and rules. Lao Tzu encourages living in harmony with the Tao, relying on one's inner moral compass, and spontaneous action. He promotes the idea of inner moral development and spontaneous action rather than rigid adherence to external rules and regulations. Confucius emphasizes adherence to established customs and traditions to maintain social order and promote ethical behavior, as well as adherence to rituals. He believes that in following established customs, traditions, and social hierarchies, individuals can create a harmonious society. Knowledge and wisdom. Lao Tzu, in the conversation with Confucius, highlights the ineffable and transcendent nature of the Tao, with an emphasis on intuition and direct experience over intellectual knowledge. Wisdom, in Lao Tzu's view, develops in a person through an inward journey that involves harmonizing with the Tao, transcending the self, cultivating intuitive understanding, and embracing simplicity and humility. Confucius, on the other hand, argues for the accumulation of knowledge, understanding, and wisdom through study, learning, and the pursuit of moral principles. He stresses adherence to established cultural and moral traditions. Wisdom, according to Confucius, is the practical application of knowledge to ethical decision-making and virtuous conduct, achieved through continuous self-improvement and learning from wise mentors and classical texts. Confucius places strong emphasis on education as the pathway to wisdom. Leadership and governance. On the issue of leadership, Lao Tzu, while acknowledging its importance, focuses on the idea that the best rulers are those who govern the least, with minimal interference, and allow people to follow their own path, much like the Tao's spontaneous flow. Confucius highlights the significance of leadership in maintaining social order and moral values. He is keen to discuss the specifics of governance, social ethics, and moral conduct, emphasizing the importance of rituals, filial piety, and the role of a virtuous ruler in maintaining order. Filial piety and social roles. In his conversation with Lao Tzu, Confucius would have championed the significance of filial piety, social roles, righteousness, and propriety as essential components of a well-ordered society. He saw the 5 key relationships in society as being ruler and subject, father and son, husband and wife, elder brother and younger brother, and friend and friend. He would have argued that these roles provide the foundation for moral and social harmony, emphasizing the need for individuals to fulfill their obligations within these roles. He would likely have advocated for the importance of adhering to established traditions, rituals, and the respect of elders, as a means of preserving societal order and fostering virtuous conduct. In contrast, Lao Tzu expresses a more flexible perspective on filial piety and social roles. He emphasizes the importance of transcending social roles and hierarchies, encouraging individuals to focus on inner transformation and spiritual growth. While not dismissive of social responsibilities, Lao Tzu stresses the idea that true filial piety and harmonious social roles emerge naturally when people live in harmony with the Tao. And he states that such virtues should flow naturally and not be constrained by rigid societal expectations. These topics represent the core differences in the philosophical approaches of Lao Tzu and Confucius. With Lao Tzu favoring a more naturalistic, spontaneous, and intuitive way of living in harmony with the Tao, and Confucius advocating for structured ethics, societal order, and adherence to established norms and virtues. In summary, the encounter between Lao Tzu and Confucius highlights their fundamental philosophical differences. Confucius was concerned with social and moral order, emphasizing the importance of structured rules, societal order, rituals, ethical conduct, and adherence to established norms and virtues. Lao Tzu, on the other hand, emphasized a more abstract and naturalistic approach, focusing on the Tao, spontaneity, and the intuitive way of living in harmony with others. He thought the need for rules and codes of behavior were required only after the natural way had been broken. This legendary meeting serves as a powerful symbol of the diversity of thought within Chinese philosophy, and the enduring impact of these two great thinkers on Chinese culture and the world at large. It also underscores the different paths to wisdom and the multifaceted nature of human understanding and spirituality. The meeting is reported to have been one where both philosophers showed each other immense admiration and respect. In fact, at the end of the meeting, when Confucius had taken leave of Lao Tzu, he said to his disciples, "Birds fly, fishes swim, animals run. These things I know. Whatsoever runs can be trapped, whatsoever swims can be caught in a net, whatsoever flies can be brought down with an arrow. But a dragon riding the clouds into the heavens, that is quite beyond my comprehension." Today I have seen Lao Tzu. He is like a dragon. What better praise could Confucius have shown than considering Lao Tzu as a dragon? For in Chinese culture, dragons have long been revered as powerful and mythical creatures, associated with various positive attributes, including wisdom, strength, and spirituality. For Confucius to employ the term dragon in this context, exhibited the highest form of praise and admiration. Thanks for watching.